Report. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. The Homeland Security Secretary says a report that hundreds of migrants with ties to terror have entered the U.S. is untrue.
Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas responding to a report that DHS confirmed more than 400 migrants entered the U.S. via an ISIS-linked group.
That reporting is incorrect.
Stating they've not identified 400 with ISIS ties.
Let me again assure you that individuals who are identified to have those ties would pose a concern to us from a public safety and a security perspective, and they would be priorities for detention and removal.
Noting since President Biden's executive order, there's been an over 40% drop of Border Patrol encounters and more than 24,000 migrants returned to countries of origin. But noting this is no substitute for congressional action.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. The Supreme Court appears to be ready to allow emergency abortions in Idaho for now when a pregnant woman's health is at risk as the legal case plays out. That's after a document related to the case was posted on the High Court's website. The court has not issued a decision on the case. Bloomberg was the first to report the document posting. The High Court did issue a ruling on a case accusing the Biden administration of censoring social media posts.
The court said that plaintiffs who said the federal government was unduly influencing social media company on things like postings like about COVID-19 and the 2020 election, the court said they simply didn't have a legal right or the standing to sue. Justice Barrett wrote for the majority, essentially saying there wasn't enough of a connection between the government's conversations with various social media platforms and harm to the plaintiffs moving forward. Now, Justice Alito wrote for the dissenters. He said that high government officials placed unrelenting pressure on Facebook in particular to suppress Americans' free speech.
Fox's Shannon Bream. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Wife accused of trying to poison her husband by putting something in his drinks.
A 47-year-old woman in Laclede County, Missouri, has been arrested accused of repeatedly spiking her husband's Mountain Dew with Roundup weed killer. Investigators say Michelle Peters added it to the soda on several occasions, eventually sickening him and causing him to get suspicious and investigate. He then gave law enforcement surveillance video indicating she was tampering with the soft drink in the garage refrigerator, which only he drank. Peters, who was arrested for first-degree assault and armed criminal action, told investigators he did not show appreciation for the birthday party she threw him, that they had relationship issues, and that she did it to be mean to him. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
Hundreds of Uber drivers protesting today in New York City, claiming the company is locking out drivers from the app in an attempt to cut costs.
It is why hundreds of those drivers took to the streets, ultimately pulling up in front of Uber offices and the TLC office here in Long Island City to demand that the company stop doing that. Drivers tell us this sudden change, this lockout, has had a huge impact on their take-home pay. How much money were you making compared to how much can you make now?
Around half. It's cut off. Yes. Unfortunately, yes.
Uber's response to all of this is to point the finger at Lyft. The idle time pay rate is set by an industry average, and Lyft has more idle time than Uber.
Fox Business's Madison Allworth. Lyft is looking to shift the blame towards the NYC Taxi and Limousine Commission, the agency responsible for controlling the idle time pay rate. The state of Vermont has agreed to pay $175,000 to settle a lawsuit filed on behalf of a man who was charged with a crime for flipping off a state trooper, arguing his First Amendment rights were violated. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Live on the Good evening. You're listening to Live at 5 with Amanda and Aaron on your only local news radio station, KJDX, KSUE, Susanville, Portola, Quincy, and Chester. Tonight, our news anchors Andrea and Jonelle will be joining us for the call-in of Plumas Forest Supervisor Chris Carlton with the latest updates on the Rainbow Family Gathering, as well as we have Jason Ingram here in studio and Alan Lowry, Elder of the Maidu. So keep it right here. You won't want to miss it. But for now, let's go ahead and let's jump right into the weather and see what that is going to look like. All right, you guys, the time is currently 5:05, and it's time to take a look at that 3-day northeastern California weather. Outside the studio is currently 82 degrees. Tonight we're going to have a low of 53. Thursday, we're going to have a high of 85 and a low of 51. It's going to stay sunny and clear out there. Friday, sunny again, high of 90, low of 56. And Saturday, a high of 90 and a low of 55. That sun isn't going anywhere, so get used to it, guys. All right, your full weather forecast is found on our website or our app, SierraDailyNews.com. And you can also get the app, Sierra Daily News, and that's available on Apple and Android. And you can click on events, you can click on podcasts, and get all of the latest at your fingertips. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to get over to Angie's financial report. And when we return, we will have Chris Carlton with the Plumas Forest Supervisor on the phone to make an announcement.
This is Angie Crowley, financial advisor with Edward Jones, located at 515 Ash Street, Suite B in Susanville, bringing you the daily financial market report. Equity markets finished modestly higher on Wednesday with the S&P 500 gaining 0.2% and the NASDAQ rising 5.5%. Sector leadership was narrow with consumer discretionary sector of the S&P 500 gaining roughly 2%, driven by strong gains in Tesla and Amazon, while most other sectors finished flat to lower. Overseas, Asian markets closed higher overnight, while European markets closed lower following consumer confidence reading from Germany that was lower than consensus expectations. On the corporate front, shares of FedEx closed higher by 15% in response to strong earnings results after the markets closed yesterday, with the company exceeding earnings estimates for the quarter. Treasury yields finished higher, with the 10-year yield ticking up to above the 4.3% mark, while the 2-year Treasury yield was little changed at around 4.75%. With only 2 trading days left in June, U.S. large-cap stocks and investment-grade bonds are following up strong performance in May with more gains this month. The S&P 500 is higher by roughly 3.7% this month, aided by ongoing strength in mega-cap technology stocks. The information technology sector and communication sectors have both risen by over 5.5% this month and are the only 2 sectors outperforming the broader S&P 500 month to date. Looking down the road, market cap returns have been less favorable for small caps and mid-cap stocks, with the Russell 2000 index lower by 2.2% for the month and the Russell mid-cap index lower by 0.6%. On the fixed income side, the Bloomberg U.S. Aggregate Bond Index is higher for the month by roughly 1.7%. Bond returns have been boosted by a pullback in Treasury yields stemming from a lower than expected U.S. inflation reading earlier this month. Today, the Dow Jones was up 16 points and closed at 39,128. The NASDAQ was up 88 points and closed at 17,805, and the S&P 500 was up 9 points and closed at 5,478. In the bond market, the 10-year Treasury yield is currently trading at 4.32%. In commodity markets, the price of crude oil was down 20 cents and closed at $80.63 a barrel. The spot price of gold was down $21.10 and finished at $2,309.70. This is Angie Crowley, financial advisor with Edward Jones, located at 515 Ash Street, Suite B in Susanville, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice. If you would like additional information or you have questions about your investments, give me a call at 530-257-2803.
All right. Thank you, Angie, for that. And now we're going to go ahead. Andrea is going to come on in, and we do have someone on the line for you.
Yes, thanks for joining us. We do have Plumas Forest Supervisor Chris Carlton joining us on the phone, along with Hillary Markin, Plumas Information Officer with the Forest Service. We want to welcome you on this evening. Thanks for joining us with this latest breaking update.
Yeah, thank you for the information, for the invitation.
So it looks like we might have a interesting connection here. We're kind of breaking up a little bit, so we'll try to get you as clear as possible and try to avoid some of these our interruptions. So I'll let you go ahead and speak. So there's an update regarding the Rainbow Family Gathering. There is a forest order, closure order in place. Do you want to share that with us?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to call it?
Yeah. Chris, we are breaking up here where it's a little bit breaking up. Are we possibly on speakerphone? That might help if we switch that up.
Yep. Yeah, we've got a bad... Can we just try calling right back in?
We can hear you now.
We can hear you now. That sounds good.
Oh, okay. Perfect. There we go. So thanks for the invitation. I really appreciate it. Chance to come on and talk a little bit about this. So as all the listeners know, this incident's been going on for about a week now. We've had we've had an unauthorized gathering on a portion of the Plumas National Forest. That gathering is associated with the Rainbow Family, and we know from past examples across other forests, there's the potential to have upwards of 10,000 people as part of that. Our obligation as the National Forest is to make sure that we are managing those lands that we're stewarding our public lands to protect those natural resources, those cultural values, and those valid existing rights that we all enjoy. Right? That's why we love the area we live in. This unauthorized incident really was having some impacts, and we made the decision that the right thing to do is to close this area because of those impacts and the impacts we anticipated seeing as more people came into that area. And I want to be really clear that our decision is based on the resources and the impacts that we're seeing. It is not about any particular group or any particular visitors that are coming to the forest. As public lands, we welcome all visitors as long as they are going to work with us, abide by the rules and laws that we all have to follow, like all of us who are listening know we do, right? And so we have made that decision. I issued a closure order today, and that closure order is in effect. And we're going to continue. Our response to this incident using that closure order to make sure we're protecting those values out there effectively.
And Chris, if I may ask, with this forest closure order, it does pertain that they will be removed from the location. Now, if they refuse to do so, to follow by the closure order, what's the incident management team going to do, or what's their ability to do to make sure that they do leave the land?
This closure order applies to anyone.
We are breaking up again, Chris. I do apologize.
Yep, no. There we go. Okay. No worries. So the closure order applies to everyone that's in that area, and we're going to be providing people who are in there an opportunity to get out within the next 48 hours. We're working with the incident management team. We're also going to be putting some checkpoints in to make sure that we're not going to have any additional people or vehicles coming into that area, and we've got those checkpoints at multiple locations. Our goal here really is to make sure we're addressing the potential for more people coming in, and then over that next 48-hour period, people who are in there have every opportunity to leave, and we encourage them to do so to be in compliance with that order. If they do not, we do have law enforcement that will be working 24/7 as they have been to make sure that order is going to be enforced. And so we really look forward to people voluntarily, complying with this order and leaving and, recreating wherever they choose to, appropriately. But after that 48 hours, we are going to be, law enforcement is going to be enforcing that closure strictly.
Now, will they be able to physically remove them if it comes down to that?
Yeah, I know that they have whatever enforcement authorities that they do. I'm not a law enforcement professional, but I know they do have the ability to use whatever law enforcement authorities they have, and they'll be doing that.
And Chris, you did mention that where the closure order specifically in a specific area. Now, what's to say, or are there going to be protocols in place if they just simply relocate just outside of that order closure?
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about that. So we're addressing this closure area, which is the headwaters to Indian Creek. At this point, we can't speak to where people who are coming or already on their way may choose to go when they can't go into that closure. We will actively be monitoring and cooperating with our incident management team as well as with local law enforcement, and then we will respond appropriately. Depending on where people go, we encourage people to go and recreate responsibly. If they don't, we will continue to respond as we are now. These natural and cultural resources that we have are critical to us, and we need to make sure that everyone who's out there is following the rules that we all have to follow.
And Chris, what was the catalyst that made the decision happen? Because this has been going on for 52 plus years, and no other Forest Service or other entity has been able to successfully accomplish something such as this to help mitigate and protect the lands. What was the deciding factor, or what was that catalyst that made this happen and possible?
Yeah, really, our primary responsibility is to public safety and is to those resources that we're stewards of. And the impacts to those resources that have been documented that were ongoing was a critical factor, as was the valid existing uses that we have up there. That's something we're obligated and required. We have a livestock grazing permittee who's operating in that area. We have an active logging timber operation that's reducing fuels, and those uses have the right to continue to operate. So when we looked at that and we looked at the impacts that we were seeing on those resources and the tribal concerns that we were hearing, as well as the concerns from a lot of people, including our communities, about those resources, we needed to make sure we're taking action to protect those resources.
Excellent. And I do have one last question for you. Given that this is kind of a first, do you believe this will be setting a precedence for others to follow suit in the future for future rainbow gathering events?
Yeah, I can't speak to whether we're setting a precedent. What I can say is on the Plumas National Forest, we are absolutely going to do what we can to make sure that everybody who's working, recreating, and taking part in the forest is doing so responsibly and in accordance with our laws, regulations, and policies. I love living here. I love being part of these communities, and I know all of us do, and we have an obligation to do what we can to keep that forest the place people want to come visit and work.
Excellent. Well, we appreciate your efforts going through this. I know there was a lot of community concern. We did hear a lot this morning on our morning show that Aaron did host, and it was alarming for a lot of folks, especially considering the fire dangers and past what has happened in our area. A lot of people are still feeling the effect of that, and I think they're very appreciative of your actions here today and are looking forward to seeing everything mitigated and kind of ease those calms. Now, we do have Jason Ingram here in the studio with us, along with a Maidu elder, Alan Lowry, who do wish to provide some things as well.
Yes, Chris, I just want to thank you for doing what's right. We know this has been a very stressful week, and at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. And I have to say the Plumas National Forest upheld the laws that are on the books, and we can't thank you enough from our community to you. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Jason. I think it's a reflection of all of us and our community. You know, we all value those resources. We all want to make sure that what's going on with those resources is in accordance with what it's supposed to be.
And anything in closing before we let you go? I'm sure you have a lot on your hands as well this evening with the light of this breaking update. Anything in closing you'd like to share?
Well, yeah, just, you know, I recognize this has been a tough few days. There's been a lot of concern raised, and I can't tell you the number of voicemails and texts I've received, and I appreciate everyone. You know, I know these are some tough situations we got to work through together, and I'm grateful for the participation and the support from the communities as well. So thank you.
Well, thank you for your efforts. In the next over the next few days, should we just expect to see a strong presence up there continuing until they are able to vacate the area?
Absolutely. The incident management team is here. They are continuing to have 24/7 shifts. In fact, I'm going to be going to brief the evening shift here in a couple of minutes. And we've got the checkpoints that are going to be staffed, and then we have the ability to pull in additional resources where needed. And then, as always, you can go to the website, and we'll make sure to keep the website updated with any current information.
Excellent. Well, again, we appreciate your time joining us here. We know you're off to, again, you said brief the incident management team this evening, so we appreciate your time joining us this evening and sharing this update as far as what we can expect in the next several days and more about the decision. Again, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for the invitation, and we'll keep everybody updated.
Appreciate it. Have a great evening. And there you have it. That was Chris Carlton, Plumas Forest Supervisor, with the breaking update about the latest closure, area closure and road closure that is over the Indian Creek Headwaters area, and that will essentially remove the Rainbow Family Gathering from this location. We are now going to be turning this conversation over to our guests who are here in studio with us. We have Jason Ingram along with Maidu Elder Alan Lowry, who's going to share more about the tribal perspective of this Rainbow Family Gathering, a story that I think has been a little bit quieter and something that needs to be heard, because these are ancestral lands, very important to their community, our community, and we appreciate you joining us here and sharing.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to our community out there, and we really appreciate we know the Maidu people really appreciate the news from Chris over there at the Plumas. This is the news that we wanted to hear. And, you know, we have one word in our language to express how we feel right now in this Yihati Ankano. And that's a big thank you for Chris, especially for our Maidu community that have allowed me to speak up on this issue. It's been a long, really 2 weeks of consternation and not knowing what's happening, knowing that some of these lands in our homeland were going to be damaged. We worry about the creatures up there that can't speak up for themselves, the animals. We worry about the plants up there that are trying to recover. We're all still traumatized by the Dixie Fire. A lot of our people lost homes, jobs, incomes. Up there on the grade, we lost, Susan William Rancheria lost their tribal children's culture camp. It was completely gone. It no longer exists up there. So many people lost so much to fire, and that area up there was so sensitive because it's a green spot. It's a place that didn't burn, and it's the final refuge for the animals that are trying to, and the plants that are trying to recover up there. So we just want to say thank you to all of our partners. The Pit River Nation was very strong, giving us support. The Modoc Nation, the Susanville Indian Rancheria, and the people of Lassen and Plumas County, and Jason here, and the other supervisors, and the people that come out. And some people probably don't know who are the Mountain Maidu. And I go, we're a quiet people, and it's not our nature to be confrontational. We communicate our needs through song, through ceremony, and the arts. and we're not used to being confrontational, but this has really ruffled feathers and has bothered us to the extreme, and we know there's damage up there now that's going to have to be remediated. But again, we just really appreciate the people that have spoken out about this and their concern, and we didn't know we had so many friends in the community and widespread, and we want to share the knowledge of our people and what we do and how we're working, especially the Maidu Summit Consortium, on what we're doing to repair damage from the Dixie Fire. And we want people to learn about who we are and what we do, and we reach out, and we want other people to reach out to us. So just Yahati Ankano to the entire community, and blessings to everybody.
Thank you for being here and joining us.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, do you have anything to share?
Oh.
You're speechless?
I know.
He's never speechless.
I'm looking at my disclaimer, and I just want to make it perfectly clear. I'm here speaking on behalf of Jason Ingram, a very concerned citizen. I am not a voice for Lassen County as far as that goes, dealing with a very litigious group. And just to be on the record, I do not speak on behalf of Lassen County. I do want to thank everybody involved. Mr. Lowry, Joe Egan, he put his personal life, political life, everything aside, and actually had the guts to go up there and do what's right. And all of our community, I've never been so proud to live in a place ever my whole entire life as I am right now in Lassen County. We all came together to do what's right, and can't thank the Plumas National Forest, Mr. Carlton, the supervisor, for stepping up and doing what's right. Like Andrea had mentioned to him, in the 52 years of this is unprecedented. Doing the right thing is never easy, and he did what's right, and I can't thank everybody enough for stepping up and helping to get justice served up there and get those guys off the hill.
Now, in light of their departure, the Rainbow Family Gathering departure, what do you think is going to need to be done to mitigate what they have left behind, or maybe the lands that they have already damaged? Because I think there was just over 500 folks reported to be up there based on that town hall meeting from last evening that we shared here on air as well. That's got to have a big impact already, just in and of itself, just in the matter of days that they've already been up there.
Right. There's going to be needing a full assessment of what's happened up there. We know there was a lot of digging into the ground. Mm-hmm. There was water diversions. There was trampling of the plants. There was trail making. All of those things. And I work with a tribe, and we use federal funds to build houses, and we have to follow NEPA guidelines. We don't move a shovel of dirt until we comply with all the federal guidelines and tribal guidelines. Mm. That means monitors and everything we do, so that we don't disturb or damage cultural resources of the tribe. So I think tribal people, in partnership with whoever the Forest Service, will have to go up there and take a look and see what can be done. Like I said before, that the only digging in the earth that the Maidu are okay with up there is what the bears dig for the roots for to feed their bear family, their little ones, and that's this time of year is what they're supposed to be doing up there. But yeah, I we didn't want to go up there and be monitors and watch people destroy the earth, but there's going to be a point where we hope the Forest Service invites us up there to have our input. There's people at the Susanville Indian Rancheria and the Maidu Summit Consortium and others, Maidu people that may be interested in taking a look and giving us some insight on what we can do to put this thing to rest up there and give this land a chance to heal up once again.
Yes. And I imagine you witnessed it firsthand too, Jason, as well, traveling up there a bit of the way. And I know you've seen plenty of videos and other evidence from other folks in our area. Do you believe it's going to be quite the effort to restore?
I think it's going to be really tough. I got to say, after Sheriff McGarva gave the board his report of what's going on up there, we drove up Tuesday, and there was probably 100 people there. And then we went up every other day from Tuesday on, and the crowds just doubled. Went from 100 to 200 to 500 to school buses, football fields off the road, to water diversions with miles of poly pipe diverting water throughout the forest. It was infuriating seeing what's going on. I mean, you can't even pull over your vehicle and crush grass with your tires without getting a huge ticket, and it's devastating. By the time we went up Sunday, it was heartbreaking to see how bad it was. I know Mr. Lowry went up Saturday, and I know over the course of 2 weeks, you've seen just how bad it got as well.
Yeah, I know there's just the human waste products that have been put into the earth up there is a problem. You know, the Indian Creek watershed drops down into Indian Valley, and actually it goes right by our family ranch before it goes down into the Feather River and ends up ultimately in the bay. And what goes in, the lime and the bleaches and all of those things, and what they do to the soils and plants and the animals that may come in contact with it, we just don't know. And so those pits are going to have to be dealt with. I don't really know the science behind fixing that, but I know that was a problem in 2004 up in the South Warners when the Rainbow were up there, and well documented. So yeah, I hope the Forest Service has a good plan and they bring in their professionals to help us, because we as Mighty people, we don't know how to deal with that. Those are things that we don't do to our lands. So, you know, we'll be looking for guidance on that.
And we'll be sure to follow up on that as well, because I know that is going to be a continued concern over the next several days, weeks, months. We will follow up and make sure that we see what's happening and what's being progressed out there. Well, gentlemen, we appreciate you both joining us here this evening, sharing your perspective on this incident. And again, if you do want to read the full official forest order closure, you can head over to the website, fs.usda.gov. That is under the Plumas Forest Service News Events page. You can read that full order. We also have it up on our website, SierraDailyNews.com, for your full reading pleasure. Again, thank you, gentlemen. Jason Ingram as well as Alan Lowry joining us here in studio, and earlier we had Chris Carlton, Plumas Forest Supervisor, joining us. Again, thank you to all for being here and sharing more on this breaking update.
All right. Thank you, Andrea, and thank you, Jason and Alan, for joining us. And Jonelle, she's a little quiet as a mouse over there. She's here. I'm listening. We're going to go ahead and listen to some more, Andrea, and get over to the news, or Jonelle, I never know who it is. And we'll be back. With your local and regional news from the Sierra Radio Network newsroom, here's what's happening. The region remains under one of the season's first red flag warnings issued by the National Weather Service. Wind gusts are expected to exceed 35 miles per hour into the afternoon. If you are planning yard work or outdoor activities, you are advised to minimize any use of equipment that could spark a fire during these conditions. Forecasters say gusty winds and low humidity could cause new fires to rapidly grow in size and intensity before first responders can contain them. The region has gone under burn ban suspensions as well across Lassen, Modoc, and Plumas counties, along with the cities of Susanville and Alturas. The red flag warning will be in place through 11 p.m. this evening.
As fire officials across the region are bracing for fire season, issuing burn bans and noting a drying fuel index nearing 90% by this weekend, Sierra Pacific Industries is proactively limiting access to its forest lands to mitigate the risk of sparking a wildfire. Effective June 28th, all SPI forests in California will be closed to all public access. SPI says these closures will remain in effect until further notice. While public roads crossing Sierra Pacific Industry forest lands will stay open, no walk-in access will be permitted. SPI lands in Oregon and Washington will remain open but are subject to the company's recreation access policies. Stay informed and stay safe during this wildfire season and visit SPI's website for more information. As firework booths begin to line Main Street in Susanville in preparation for the upcoming holiday, Susanville Fire reminds the community about changes to city code and how to be fire safe during your celebrations. Sales for safe and sane fireworks will begin this Friday, persisting through July 6th by noon. If you buy early, you will need to hold on to those fireworks to use until the 4th of July holiday itself. Use before the holiday can result in a citation. Stay fire safe this 4th of July and visit Susanville Fire Department for all regulations regarding the safe use of fireworks. The Susanville CHP is issuing a traffic and safety advisory for the upcoming July 4th festivities in Chester. I'll have those details coming up for you in more local news on 93 JDX 1240 KSUE.
Are you an aspiring photographer? Do you have an eye for great shots of local landscapes and events? We invite you to enter Lassen MUD's Rural Light Calendar Photo Contest. 13 photos will be featured in the 2025 calendar. If your photo is chosen, you'll receive a $50 energy gift card and be part of the exhibit in conjunction with the Lassen County Arts Council. Photos can be submitted online at lmud.org. The deadline for submissions is August 15th. Complete details can be found on our website or check out the June issue of the Lassen Rural Light or call me, Teresa Phillips, at 530-257-4174.
How was the hunting trip?
Great, but now I need help with processing. Got any ideas?
Oh yeah, Indian Valley Butchers. They're a mobile butchering service that comes right to you.
Are they local?
They're in Greenville, and they serve Plumas, Lassen, and Sierra counties. Oh, and their trucks, they're air-conditioned, and they vacuum seal all meat for optimum freshness.
Sounds perfect. How do I reach them?
Call 530-282-1221 or send an email to indianvalleybutchers@gmail.com. Indian Valley Butchers. Easy, convenient, and local.
Life is best lived in motion. Carlton's Tire Pros will help keep you on the road, making sure you're ready for any adventure life throws your way. May 23rd through June 30th, get up to $80 via Visa Reward Card or Visa Virtual Prepaid Card after online submission on purchases of 4 or more new Michelin passenger or light truck tires, totaling $900 or more. Tire purchases totaling $899.99 or less get $60. With Carlton's Tire Pros by your side, you can continue to explore the unfamiliar. Visit online today. Tire Pros. Love the drive. See store for complete details. Offer ends June 30th, 2024. Void where prohibited.
Home should be the place you want to return to after a long day. Maybe a place that's just minutes from some of the most serene and natural wonders in the world, like waterfalls or volcanoes. Home should offer you a lifestyle with golfing, horseback riding, biking, hiking, fishing, and more. If this sounds too good to be true, it's right here in Susanville, the home that has something for everyone. Find out more about our wonderful town on our Facebook page at City of Susanville. Susanville, California, the home of your dreams.
Sierra Central Credit Union is proud to offer youth banking options for any age. You can open a Sierra Central Youth Checking account as early as 13 years old with no service fees till age 25. Sierra Central Credit Union also offers a minor savings account because we know it is never too early to start learning the importance of saving. Visit sierracentral.com/youth to learn more about our portfolio of youth products, helping establish your financial future since 1955.
Local news on 93 JDX 1240 KSUE. The California Highway Patrol in Susanville has issued a traffic and safety advisory for the upcoming July 4th festivities in Chester. State Route 36, also serving as Main Street in Chester, will be closed on Thursday the 4th from 8:45 to 9:45 a.m. for the fun run, and again from 10:45 to 1 p.m. for the parade. A detour will be available at Airport Road and Melissa Avenue for through traffic. The CHP also also addressed concerns regarding chairs being set up days in advance of the parade, which can block sidewalks and crosswalks. Pedestrians, bicyclists, and individuals using mobility devices must be able to travel safely without obstruction. Chairs that hinder sidewalk and crosswalk usage will be subject to removal. Additionally, the CHP is emphasizing the importance of not drinking and driving, noting that there will be extra officers patrolling for DUI enforcement. The CHP is looking forward to a safe and enjoyable 4th of July celebration in Chester. Barbara Mantadon has been named the Grand Marshal for Chester's 4th of July parade in recognition of her exceptional dedication to supporting PAWS, Plumas Animal Welfare Society. Founded in 1999, PAWS has rescued, provided medical care, and found homes for over 4,000 cats and kittens that face neglect or abandonment. Mantadon's tireless efforts in organizing and participating in fundraising events and adoption drives have contributed to the well-being of animals within the community. Barbara's commitment and passion for this cause has been commendable, profoundly impacting the lives of countless animals and their new families. The announcement of Mantadon's selection as Grand Marshal is a testament to her unwavering dedication and hard work. And that is what's happening today from your only local news radio, keeping you informed and connected to your communities throughout Lassen, Plumas, and Sierra counties.
Susanville Supermarket IGA is distinctively unique, just like the community they serve. When you shop IGA, it's a shopping experience with a promise of neighborly service from people you know and trust. And with quality IGA products, you save even more.
It's July 4th savings. This week at your hometown proud IGA. Meaty pork baby back ribs are just $4.97 a pound. USDA choice beef tri-tip $6.97 a pound. Fresh 80% ground beef in the family pack $3.97 a pound. Fresh and tasty tomato salad, 99 cents a pound. Crispy red leaf lettuce, $1.49 each. Lay's Classic or Kettle Cooked chips, 2 bags for $6. And IGA drinking water, 24 packs, just $1.99 plus CRV. Limit 2 per customer.
And look for their latest in-season magazine, available in-store and online with recipes, dietitian tips, how-to videos, and more. Open 7 days a week starting at 5 a.m. Online shopping and super fast curbside service available. Go to SusanvilleSupermarket.com.
This 4th of July, remember to celebrate responsibly. Protect your community by preventing fires and injuries caused by fireworks. Learn more at fireworkssafetyca.org.
When the loss of a loved one falls upon your family, know that all of us at Fink Funeral Home are here to support you and consider it an honor to serve your family. We are here to help pre-plan and plan for your family funeral service needs so your family can rest more easily. And now Fink Funeral Home has their new website they encourage you to visit to learn more about their services. Visit finkfuneralhome.com, finkfuneralhome.com, or call 530-257-4414.
Don't miss this year's Lassen County Fair.
It will be the best fair yet, July 17th to 21st.
Carnival wristbands are on sale now.
Kickoff on Tuesday with the 4-H barbecue.
Wednesday, it's the Miss Lassen County pageant.
Friday, taking the stage is the hit band Lone Star.
Saturday, free to the public, is Rancher Day Rodeo.
Then Saturday night, hit-selling artist Josh Turner.
Sunday, it's a day at the races with auto races and demolition derby.
Get your tickets now at LassenCountyFair.org.
That's LassenCountyFair.org for the best fair yet.
All right, the time is currently 5:42, and it's time to take a look at that 3-day Northeastern California weather. Outside the studio is currently 81 degrees. Tonight we're looking at a low of 53. Thursday, a high of 85 and a low of 51. Sunny and clear, of course. Friday, that sun is going to keep on shining. We're going to have a high of 90 and a low of 56. Thank you, Aaron, for that water. And Saturday, a high of 90 and a low of 55. Yes, people, summer's here to stay. So get your shorts, your tank tops, go for a swim, go for a hike. That sun is out for the rest of the next couple months, I'm saying. All right, your full weather forecast is found on our website or our app, SierraDailyNews.com, or our app, Sierra Daily News. And we're going to jump right into the rest of our show. The first half was a little serious, super important though, and I hope we got all the information out that we needed to. And for the second half, Jonelle's going to join me and Aaron.
Actually, we decided to take off.
We're going to go get burgers.
Okay, can you just bring me one back? I've been craving.
What kind do you want?
I've been craving a Big Mac.
A Big Mac?
I don't know
why. Are you
why.
a Big Mac kind of gal?
No, I just really want one. Just today. With extra smack sauce.
Are you having cravings?
I am. Okay. That ship has sailed.
Oh.
I had a hysterectomy, and I have no man.
On the right day.
I'm missing the man, and I'm missing the other stuff. Neither is not possible.
Just want to see if we were going to make an announcement over the air today.
We don't even have an announcement I can have a good date. How are we going to have an announcement that I can make that happen?
Maybe after this conversation.
Maybe.
Oh,
get those good vibes going out there.
Really good vibes.
You know, there are people coming down off Antelope Lake that need a place to stay.
You're so funny. You're so funny.
Really good vibes.
I'm going to direct them straight your way, so you know. I should have sent you to get my surveys off Monday.
Oh, did you print your surveys? I'll go.
No, we have the ones from yesterday, right? Or did I not reprint them?
I don't know. I'll go get them.
In the meantime, because John now has to join in on the surveys. We've been wanting to have you on the show, and I was MIA over there. Well, not really. Everyone knew I was in the hospital, but I was gone. And so that was the week we were going to have you on, because every show's gotten to have you really but us. So, and ours is #1 rated. And here, Aaron's not here to say, in this time slot.
So how dare I have not prioritized this?
I know.
I
told her she had to come on the #1 rated talk show.
Yeah, for our time slot.
See, he always says it.
I love it. I'll go with it. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I wanted to be live with you guys at 5. Just, you know how it is. You work multiple jobs.
Yeah.
We all have families. It's it always seems
On the
easy,
go.
and then I'm like, oh, it's 4:30. Not going to happen
Not
today.
happening. I say that too, but then I have to be here. So it happens anyways.
Not gonna work.
And I'm really impressed with John Elsa. Okay, she goes on these hikes. And she's made me want to start hiking again. Because
hiking's awesome.
Even though I get lost every time. But
I don't know how you get lost. You just turn around and follow it back.
Because I go, ooh, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go this way. And then I'm like, oh, wait, my phone's dying. It's starting to get dark.
Do you go on trails or do you just go out hiking?
I just go, everyone laughs. Because remember she doesn't know the story.
I do.
know the story. So my daughter's friend came down from Texas, and I was like, we'll go to Ranch Park and we're going to go on this hike. And my daughter's like, not a hiker. She's like, you guys have fun with that. So we go on this adventure, and we're walking. My phone dies. She's like, my phone's starting to get, and I was like, where are we? And we feel like, she's like, should we just keep walking? I said, we're going to keep walking. We're going to end out at an exit somewhere, an exit on a hike. And, and so I was like, eventually we're going to get out of here. Well, then she's like, my phone's really dying and it's getting really dark. And I was like, I don't know where we are. And then we lost internet, and we started freaking out, and I was like, I don't recognize any of this. And so then finally I was like, we're going to have to, as soon as we get service, call 911 so they can pin us, because I don't know where we are. And it's dark, and her phone had like 5% left. And so we finally get to the spot, and we get a little bit of service, and we call 911, and they're like, okay, we're pinning your location now. I was like, the phone's about to die. And they're like, okay, you guys hold on. And then the phone went out and died. And so then we couldn't see our hand in front of our face. So we just stood there holding each other and like stood still, and we could hear animals and everything. We're like, oh my god. She's like, this is how I'm gonna die. And then finally we see these off-road vehicles coming, and they found us, and they had all this water, and we're like, oh my gosh, you found us. They're like, you guys are 8 miles out of town.
Wow.
I was like, I can walk 8 miles. That's what I got out of that.
That's a good hike.
What I got out of that is that's how far she will go to meet a guy.
That's true.
Who said anything about a guy?
Did a guy show up?
With snacks and water.
See, look at that smile.
I didn't think about it.
If this was television, you'd be like, oh, hey.
They were really good looking ones, too. I was like, who doesn't like a man in uniform?
Missed opportunity.
There you go.
And they showed up with snacks and water.
Even better.
Hopefully it was chocolate.
Right.
Oh, yeah. They would know my chocolate order.
We were talking about increasing your sex appeal last night.
Yes, we were. Not mine.
Chocolates
people.
and snacks.
She said, not mine.
Yeah, we were.
And people, if it's the top 10, boost your sex appeal, not Amanda.
Something like
How
that.
do we improve Amanda's appeal?
Sometimes I get things wrong. I'm old, John.
How do we improve Amanda's appeal?
I'm pretty sure.
Probably by not making some of the announcements you make about me sometimes.
I'll probably make it a little more rough for her out there. Oh, are you Amanda? Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Oh, thanks.
Like, yeah, I heard what Aaron said about you. I don't know. But no, she's all good. I just tease her. She's all good. She's a good kid.
A good kid.
Yeah, she's younger than me, so I call her a kid.
Well, I think we're both younger than you.
Yeah.
Everybody's younger than me.
I'm 38.
I'm 40.
Ooh.
Oh, see, right in the same ballpark. Hey, protected group. All right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! Next year I hit the group.
It's not something you want. Did you say that's what you want?
I know. I'm saying next year I hit the group.
Like a negative thing. Okay.
Like it's like not the group.
Not
I was like
year.
trying to get in. It wasn't like
you got 2
the in
years.
crowd.
You're 38. You got about what, a year and a half?
I turned 39 in October, which is
right. So about a year and a half.
It's a thing though. Like when I signed up for the hike, the race that I had been training for the last 8 weeks. When I signed up, it's like, pick your age group. And I'm like, 40 to 49?
Did you cry a little bit?
That's the other thing, the scrolling you got to do to
I was
get
just
to
going
the
to say,
age.
like, check your birth year. You're scrolling.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like, that's pretty far off now.
What race are you doing?
Okay, so it was on Friday. It was called the Broken Arrow Sky Race.
I think I've heard of that one.
So it was based out of Squaw Valley. And a friend of mine competed in this, I think about 4 years ago. And I wasn't competing for time. It was really just something to prove to myself I can do.
To complete it.
Yes, exactly. Right. I can challenge myself.
Self-goal.
Yes, exactly. Like I always like to just kind of surprise myself that I can do things that I didn't think I could do. So that race was super exciting. I start at, I think, 6,300 feet in elevation. Dang. And I had to go 3,000 feet in 3 miles. And then I didn't know at the end there was a 2.2 mile hike back down. So that was a nice little treat to come back down. But it was really awesome. It was
that
really
can be hard on your knees, though. A lot of people don't understand coming back down.
It wasn't too bad.
Not too bad?
Not too bad.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Yeah.
Are you going to do the triathlon?
I'm not sure. I feel bad. Dawn, I hope you're not listening.
You should do the triathlon.
I've done it before. I don't know this year.
If not, come up and do some, volunteer for her, do pictures.
I usually go up there.
Is there a walking portion?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I was just joking.
Okay, you can walk, you can jog, you can crawl, anything you want.
The last time I did it, which was not last, may have been last, either last season or the season before for the triathlon, my biking partner, she had not ridden a bike since she was a child.
Uh-oh. That's a
not
problem.
even stepped foot on a bike. And she's, I think, our age. And so she had not been on a bike.
Thank you for including me into that.
She had not ridden a bike in a couple decades. And she walked the bike a lot of the time. But again, it was just to show her support, to be a part of the event. And
Definitely.
Yes, so you can walk. You don't have to run.
You can walk. You guys can take pictures if you guys have a camera. You
now
come
you're
out and
on
take
the spot.
pictures. Yeah, come be a part of our photography crew.
Okay.
I like it. Well, the survey I got has to do with age. So it's top 10 pieces of advice over 45s would tell their younger selves. So
you guys aren't in that category yet.
I know.
Okay, go ahead.
You can tell us if it's right, and if so, then we still have time to fix it.
I'll be your voice, your elderly voice saying,
Your
hey,
elderly voice.
Don't do that. This is what you need to fix. Okay, go for it.
The grass isn't always greener on the other side.
Well, that's absolutely true.
Absolutely. I know that at 30
That's
years.
absolutely true.
Well, but I feel like I still every once in a while go, oh, and then like.
But sometimes you got to take that leap, though. You know, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Or perspective.
And then if you step on a thorn, then you found out.
And sometimes there's just people who are miserable no matter what side of the fence they're on.
Yes.
They're just miserable.
Yeah.
You got to put yourself in check.
Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness.
Yes.
Ish.
Okay.
You can't do it too much. You can't depend on other people for every little thing. Try to do it yourself. Try to accomplish things on your own. But if you can't, yes, asking for help is not a bad thing.
And I do that with myself because either I go through little spurts of where I'm like independent woman, and then I'll make things work however they have to without asking anyone for help.
Right.
And then it's like I almost get back. I'll fall into like damsel in distress kind of mode.
Like a passenger princess kind of mode.
Yeah, and I don't like that me though, because that one ends up getting walked all over, and like I start to like get weak. So I think it's always better to, you know.
To ask for help is not a bad thing, but don't fall into the
balance. It's all about balance.
Don't get to that point where you're always asking.
Yeah,
because
I don't like
that
is
a bit of weakness.
Yeah, and I totally claim that I do that. Yeah. So that's why you have to find a balance.
You got a lot on your plate, so I wouldn't say you do that.
Sometimes that plate just like
So
it's like Thanksgiving, but I have like a saucer, and I'm over there trying to.
Yeah,
she needs a bigger plate.
Yeah. Or maybe
I
I
don't
need
know
to
what that
stop
means.
eating so much.
What does that mean, John?
Or just don't eat so much. Don't take on so much.
What do you mean by a bigger plate?
She said a saucer, and she referenced Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
She does not want a large plate at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a saucer.
No one wants
Right.
a sauce. Like a cake
I'm
plate.
just looking for the
That's it.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
All right.
What does the plate represent?
That's it.
That's it?
Because if your
Okay.
plate's full.
Your plate's full, you need a bigger plate?
Yeah, so if I'm over there with my cake plate at Thanksgiving trying to get a little bit of everything, it starts
So-
falling over and you're trying to put stuff on top of each other and things are getting covered up. This is a really good reference for life.
Okay.
Because then you start putting other things on top, like the necessity. Okay, well, I'll put that. Well, I'll just put it on top. And things are falling off because it's not made for that.
So we can't always handle the things that are put on our plate, but we can make the plate to where we can handle what's being put on it easier.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Way to go, John.
You're welcome.
Leave a job that doesn't make you happy.
But make sure you have another job to
Yeah, make
jump
sure you
to.
can pay their bills.
Yeah, you gotta pay your bills.
Responsible.
Yes.
Still be responsible.
But yeah, in fact, I was talking about this with some of my youngsters. They're like, man, I just don't like my job. I'm like, okay, well, work on getting a new one.
Yep.
And then you can leave it.
Yeah.
Make a plan.
Make a plan.
Cut out certain people from your life. Sometimes there's toxic people that you just got.
Are you raising both hands in the studio right now?
I was like, yes,
Yes.
I
Pick
agree.
me, I'm that person.
No, I'm not the toxic one.
No, but you would give that advice to yourself.
Oh, I would.
Yes, that's
definitely.
what I meant.
Like,
yes, I think we all would. Like that person just was toxic. You can stay away from that person.
So, do you think of you like, let's say you and when you were in your 30s, early 30s?
I can
Did you
name
do
on
that?
one hand, probably even less than that, how many people in my life who I felt were toxic to me. Because I usually like, okay, I've always been good. I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm going to go this way in that direction, or handling those people well. But there are some people in my life that I would go back in time, like, stay away from that person. You kind of get sucked in a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah. Don't regret. Learn the lessons and move forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't dwell.
You
However,
can't get anywhere
that's-
by looking in the rearview mirror.
That's easier said than done, though.
Oh, definitely.
Because you remember your faults far more than you remember the great things that you do. And that's one thing for Father's Day, one of the things that my kids did for me, it made me feel really good, so special that they did it for me. I had to post it. I was bragged at look at what I got for Father's
Aww.
Day. They put a video together because I told them, don't buy me stuff. I have enough crap. Don't buy me stuff. So they put together a video, and it was all about, hey, this is what makes Dad a good person. That really made that touched my heart a little bit. I was like, I want to put this out there.
That's a great gift.
So. And the things that they mentioned, some of the things that they mentioned, I forgot that I did for them. I always forgot, I'm like, wow, I was a horrible father. I did this, I did that, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. And they kind of got together like, no, you were a good dad, and this is why. And so, it made me feel good.
All right.
So, yes, easier said than done, but yes, I recommend that.
Don't let someone talk you into doing something you don't want to do.
Depends
depends.
Yeah, I was going to say it depends.
Because sometimes those are some of the greatest things.
Yeah.
You do, and then
Step out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
But don't step out of your character. Ooh.
Boom. Mic drop.
Put that on a sticker.
Yeah, that's a sticker right there.
I was going to say a mug, but I'm like, no, nobody really wants that.
A what?
A mug, like
Oh,
a mug.
mug.
Put that on a coffee mug.
Yeah.
You would have two then.
But I would put it on my hydro flask. So
There
put
you
that
go.
on
There
a
you go.
sticker.
Put that on a Stanley.
I like that.
No way. I'm too old for Stanleys. We're too old for Stanleys.
Oh, she has a whole bookcase.
No, I have one Stanley that my daughter brought me. All my other cups are my Starbucks cups.
I helped her move her dryer in, and I saw this whole bookshelf. Like, she's displaying her mugs. I'm like, wow, that's...
They're not mugs. They are Starbucks cups, tumblers.
That's
tumblers. They're tumblers.
One of my best friends, she collects. Like, are they the ones that have like the outside is kind of like ripply, or
they can be ripply, they're soft. I have all different ones.
Yes.
I have a color scheme though, so I don't go out of it. Like, I don't grab every color that comes. It has to stick with the color scheme.
How many are there?
There's a lot.
Like, how many are we talking? Hundreds of options for these cups?
Out there, yes, there is. I don't have hundreds, and some of mine are missing, which I'm not happy about.
Someone broke into your house and stole your
No,
mug?
they stole my car.
Oh.
They stole my tumblers out of my car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A window broke out. And
I think they took my matte black one. Okay, well, we're really off subject here. It says, don't compare yourself to others. Trust yourself more. Try and save money each month. And believe in yourself.
Try to save money every month, and don't compare yourself to others-ish. Sometimes I am competitive. I'm like,
yes, you are.
Am I? Have you noticed that?
Just a little.
Really?
Slightly.
Yeah.
Really?
A little bit.
Seriously? I thought I
Like-
concealed it well.
You talk about it not well.
Oh, sorry. But no, if someone has that, I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? I need to be better than that person, or not necessarily as a mean thing towards that person,
but for yourself.
But for myself to
Yep.
as that. Okay, that's the bar I got to jump over.
Yes.
Well, sadly though, this is our least favorite part of the show.
We're hanging out.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
push
time.
the button.
Don't do it.
I know.
Push the. No, you did it. Who's doing it?
So sad, so sad. We must wrap it up because it's going to be 6 o'clock. All right, Aaron's going to be with you guys in the morning on the morning show. And then he'll be back again in the evening for his favorite part of the show where he's with me, Amanda. All right. You guys have a good night. I'm Amanda.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Janelle.
And we're out.
Thank you.